Middlesbrough as a town has a long history with Australia. Captain James Cook was born just a few miles from the Riverside Stadium, and the steel produced here on the River Tees was used to build the Sydney Harbour Bridge. There's also a footballing tradition. Craig Johnston got his big break at Borough before moving to Liverpool. Paul Ocon and Tony Vidmar had spells at the club. Luke Wiltshire, Mark Viduka and Mark Schwarzer all pulled on the Borough shirt in the Premier League. And now Scott McDonald hopes his goals will fire Borough back to England's top division. And there's Rhys Williams. He moved to England from Perth as a 16-year-old kid, completely unaware of the links between Middlesbrough and the home he'd left behind. But thankfully, there were some familiar faces on his first day of training.
I was on trial and actually Mark Viduka and Schwarzer and Brad were here. Schwarzer came up and said, "Oh, do you want to come out for lunch?" A few Australian boys, Viduka and Brad. I said, I was so nervous really at the time, and I said yeah, so I went. I wasn't very chatty because obviously I was really nervous, didn't know him, and it got to the stage where we ordering the food, and I ordered the same as Viduka just because I was too nervous to order anything, but nah, it's good, and I'm glad they're all there to help me through my time at Middlesbrough.
Rhys is now starting to establish himself at Middlesbrough, and that led to a call-up to join the Socceroos and a dream home debut in front of 70,000 fans.
Words can't explain it, to be honest. It's just something that all footballers, when you get to international, can't explain. Just the feeling that you get. It's amazing. I'll never forget it. I've never been so nervous in my life, and that's the highlight of my career so far, and it will always be my highlight. So I enjoyed it very much. I had 17 of my family fly over from Perth to Melbourne to watch it, so I had a lot of support there, and I really enjoyed it.
That debut game wasn't Rhys's first international. He represented Wales at under-21 level, qualifying through his Welsh grandfather. But when it came to senior caps, he knew who he wanted to represent.
Brian Flynn, the under-21s of Wales, came and spoke to me, and he had a lot of positive words saying about the future and where he wants his team to be, and I was excited to play for him. So yeah, I was young, and I wouldn't take back the time I'd spent with Wales. I enjoyed it very much, and I'd like to thank everyone and wish them the best of luck. I'm Australian, my family live in Australia, and to be honest, that's where my head and my heart is, and it will always be with Australia.
Although he does admit to having a very Welsh-sounding name.
I know everyone says that, it's a Welsh name, so no, I'm Australian, and I changed my name to Bruce if you want, or whatever, yeah.
With the World Cup just a few months away, breaking into the national team couldn't have come at a better time.
I think I could speak for everyone here, it's everyone's dream. Obviously playing at a World Cup at 21 for me is amazing. I didn't really expect this at all. But obviously I don't take my spot for granted, and I'll keep working hard and trying to play every week, and then it's down to the boss to see if I'm good enough.
The boss probably wasn't pleased with the last performance. A straight red card against Oman. If the debut in Melbourne was a career high, this was a career low.
I got in the change room, I nearly broke down in tears. Pim, the boss, gave me a massive chance for myself with all the big boys were playing, and I was nervous going into it. I think I was a bit unlucky to how I got sent off, but it's just a mistake that I need to learn from. And hopefully the boss knows that I will learn in the future.
The World Cup will provide a steep learning curve for Rhys Williams. Learning about the birthplace of Captain James Cook from the curator of this museum is one thing. Pitting your wits against Germany, Serbia and Ghana on the world stage is another.
Yeah, some call it the group of death. These teams can beat anyone on their day, and it's the same with us. We've got a good squad, good manager, focused. Everyone wants to win. The mentality is sky high at the minute from winning all the time. So hopefully we can take this into the World Cup and have a good World Cup.
Have you played that moment out in your head, perhaps the first time that you run out in a World Cup game?
No, just like I said, I don't want to take my spot for granted. So I've had a few dreams and that about it, but no, like I said, I need to work hard and play well, and then hopefully the dream will come into reality.